Today I'll cover 10 stupidly easy editing techniques even a child could understand. It will make your edits 3.7 times cleaner. I mean, I made that number up, but if you feel like your animations are missing that premium touch, then this video is for you. I've tried my best to find the easiest yet the most effective techniques, and because of that, you can create all of them in less than 15 seconds. By the way, number 4 turned out so good that it even surprised me. Ooh, green looks good. Holy cow. So pay close attention to this one, and that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing is colored shadow. So when I got an object with the bright colors on the white background, I use it all the time. So all I'm gonna do is select the layer, apply drop shadow effect, and then I'm gonna head over to the properties and we're gonna grab the picker for the color and we're gonna borrow the color from the logo. Now I'm gonna head over to the distance in order to recenter the shadow, so let's set it up to 0. And then we can spread out the shadow by changing the softness. So let me just bump it up. It's very subtle, but I feel like it's making a difference. It gives it that premium look. I recently used it in one of my intros. I also use it all the time for the thumbnails. Alright, on to the next one. Another thing on the list is mixing fonts from the same family. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same family, but that's what I usually do. So for this, we're gonna need the text. So I'm gonna grab the type tool and we're gonna type in hello. Let me just bump it up a bit. Now pay attention to the style, because here we're using extra bold, but now we're gonna duplicate the layer. I'm gonna drop it a bit lower, and instead of extra bold, we're gonna use something different, say medium. So now I'm gonna change the word to everybody, and then I'm gonna play around with the size of the text. So I'm gonna select it all, change the font size, and let me just lift it up a bit. So you kind of wanna do a good job with the alignment. So let's do it like that. And then we're gonna have it in the middle. So that already looks really clean. Another one is gonna be mask feather. You can use it for anything, but I really like to use it for the text. We can actually reuse what we've already created in the previous one. We just need to flip the colors. Dang, I don't have a camera on, but I snapped my fingers if you didn't get it. So there's literally nothing complicated about it. All you need to do is just select one of the texts or whatever you're having here. Then head over here, press and hold, and pick the rectangle tool. And we're just gonna create a shape that goes like that. So now we have a pretty harsh cut over here. So what I'm gonna do is click F on the keyboard and we're gonna bump up the mask feather and check it out. So now we have a pretty nice kind of depth. It's an illusion that is 3D, even though it's not. And then you can get creative because you can slide out that text with the text animation. So say I'm gonna use something from Motion Essence for this one. Wait up. Let's take random down. So this is a pretty cool thing to do. Also, we can add another one over here. Random up, and let's play around with the timing. So this is a pretty creative look. Hello everybody! Chris Williamson always says it like that. Another thing on the list is light sweep plus glow. So essentially, if you want to make your animation really moody in a premium vibe, what you could do is have the shape in the middle. So let me create one. I'm gonna recenter it and I'll make sure this is fully black. Let's hit OK. And then make sure to have a dark background as well. So now what I'm gonna do with this, we can barely see it, but what I'm gonna do with this is apply CC light sweep. And now I want to get rid of the sweep on top of it. We only want to leave the edges. So I'm gonna decrease the sweep intensity to 0. And then I'm gonna bump up the width. I'll decrease the edge thickness. And we're gonna go for a different color. And here in the color, we're gonna pick this, yeah. Actually, let me just bump it up slightly. So now if you wanted to make it a little bit more appealing, you could add the movement for a center. So I'm gonna click the stopwatch, go back, and we're just gonna decrease X. And we're gonna have this animation, and then on top of this we're gonna apply deep glow effect. So deep glow is a paid plugin, but you can also go with glow, but it looks freaking good. And then you can obviously bump up the width to kind of cover more of the animation, I mean the shape. Then I would probably just increase the distance between the keyframes and I would apply some sort of a graph. I'm not gonna lie, that looks freaking tough. And then you can play around with the colors. So say we're gonna set it up to some, ooh, green looks good. Holy cow. Let's just see another color. No, red is not as good. Like, green is so good. Also purple. That's premium. Alright, on to the next one, and we're gonna cover the spotlight effect. I'm gonna drop you a little definition on the screen. We probably all struggle with this, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so for this effect we're gonna need to have something in the middle, so I have to go to Motion Essence. Link in the description. So I'm gonna grab something from the checkboxes, and we're gonna take the checkbox window. Let's drop it over here. Also, we're gonna real quick apply subtle shadow to this. So here we have a pretty cool animation. I'm just gonna bump up the scale a little bit. And now what I want to do with this is apply an adjustment layer on top. So I'm going to right click, go over to new, adjustment layer, and we're going to look for the effect called CC Spotlight. So now the default settings are not the best, but we're going to cook something up. So if I zoom out and I click on our spotlight effect, here you have this point, which you can take and place wherever you want. So I'm gonna take it over here, and then, and by the way, this is the from setting, then you can actually decide where it's ending. So this middle point, we can actually place it somewhere here. And then I'm gonna change the height to 0. And let me actually play around with this now. Okay, I think this is gonna be good. Now I'm gonna bump up the cone angle. So let's spread it out a bit. Already looks really nice. I really like the effect. And then you can play around with the softness. And now it looks really clean. The only thing I would do is probably just play around with the intensity. And then you just play around with the settings. You kind of want to target the size of the animation so you can kind of focus on what's in the middle. Then you can make it extremely moody by bumping up the intensity. But I kind of like the light version of it. Ooh. That's good. Yeah, multiple ways to play around with this. So yeah, try it for yourself. So our another effect is color grading your edits. And I'm not gonna go in depth with this because I've already made a full-on tutorial on this. I believe it's called How to Stylize Your Edits. I can remember, but it's with SGA. But I'm gonna show you how you can blend everything together a little bit more. And if you just tint it with a color, it's just gonna look so much better. So I'm gonna leave what we've already created. We can actually rename it to the spotlight. And then I'm gonna create a new adjustment layer and I'll call it color. Then we're gonna apply Lumetri color to this. If you've been following the channel, you already know what I'm gonna do. But what I really like doing is heading over to the color wheels, and I like taking the shadows and dragging them towards the blues. So look at the difference. So this was before and after. Then you can go crazy with this. You can drag it all the way, but I think you don't want to go for a look like that. I mean, it looks cool, but just a subtle touch is enough. Looks really clean, really minimal. I feel like if you infuse it with a blue color, it always looks really good. And then you can play around with the shadows over here. You can drag them down. But I've played around with the spotlight for too long, so I'm not gonna mess it up. Yeah, but you can get really creative with this. Just play around with the wheels. Alright, moving on, we got chromatic aberration. So this is something that is gonna give you that futuristic touch, but you don't wanna go overboard with this. So what I usually do for this is just create a new adjustment layer. And now you can use VR chromatic aberration, which is inside After Effects, or you can go for a plugin, which is called Quick Chromatic Aberration. It's also free, and this is not a promo, you just need to look it up. So I'm just gonna apply it real quick, and this is a little bit better because it's not gonna mess up the edges, and VR Chromatic Aberration has this malfunction. So now you probably don't really see it, but if you take a closer look, you're already gonna notice that color split. So what you want to do here is probably bump up the position a bit, and you can go crazy with this, but I'm gonna go with 1. And just slight touch of red and blue on the sides, and depending on what you have here we have pink. I hope I'm not colorblind and it's actually pink. Wait, is it pink? It might be purple. I don't even know. Bro, I'm lost. So yeah, nothing complicated here, you just add a slight touch and that's pretty much it. Alright, on to the next one, which is gonna be the blur. So I'm gonna create another adjustment layer. Let's call it blur. And I'm gonna apply fast box blur. So let me just bump it up slightly. And now I'm gonna take the ellipse tool, and with this layer selected, I'm gonna create a mask around our animation. So now I'm gonna invert it, so it's on the sides, and then I'm gonna hit F, and I'm gonna bump up the mask feather. So look at that. Just adding that soft blur over here is probably a little bit too much, to be honest. And then you can also bump up the feather to kind of smooth it out, so let me just do it. So it's really nice. I really like how it looks over here. Alright, our animation starts to look really clean in that setting. Damn. We're starting to cook, then you would probably add a little bit of movement and it would look fire. Another thing on the list is using gradient ramp. So essentially what we want to do is just head over to the background and we're gonna apply gradient ramp. So now as you can notice, we got black and white, and the thing is that you don't want to mix together dark and light because you're gonna have color bending. So the clue is to have light color mixed with the light color. So let me just show you. I'm gonna head over to start color, and here instead of white, we're gonna pick something with a slight touch of, say, red. It's probably a bit too much. Or maybe, you know what, we're gonna pick blue. Yeah, it looks really nice. So this is something even Apple uses. I literally went to their page today and they use blue and white and it looks so good. Just makes everything minimal and clean, and it's stupidly easy to make. So that's what you want to do, is just mixing together light version of some sort of a color with white. I mean, you can play around with this, you can use here a different color as well. It's also interesting. The last thing on the list is vignette. This is something I use all the time because it helps to focus on what's in the middle. So I'm gonna get rid of that gradient ramp over here and we're gonna apply CC vignette, and it's just looking clean. So vignette is such a game changer and it looks fire. You can play around with the settings though. Anyway, that will be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, you learned a lot, you're gonna have something to implement into your videos. And with that being said, you can check out the video on the screen, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers guys.